Oh, yeah, we're back.
Yeah,
hey, everybody,
baby.
welcome back to a little show that we like to call
Roll with the Troll.
This is called Roll with the Troll. Now, I am your host, the Troll. It sounds stupid to say host,
yeah.
and then I'm the Troll. Like, Troll doesn't sound like you should be hosting anything, right?
Right.
That's not good. Anyway, and I'm here with the voice of reason,
Hello.
my lovely co-host. So if you're new to the channel, first of all, if you're new to the channel, click like and subscribe now before we alienate
Do it now.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're in for some stupid bullshit. It's going to be fun. We're talking Cobra Kai Season 5. This is definitely a spoiler review, but it's been out now for like a while.
Yeah.
Almost 2 months. So, I mean, if you haven't seen it, you're not going to watch it. Who really cares at that point? A lot of shit happened this episode, right? Episode 4. So many things go down. It opens up with Carmen having this sex dream.
Yeah.
About Johnny showing up being Tom Cruise from Top Gun.
Was that me?
That was funny because remember in season 4 she made reference to Tom Cruise being very handsome. And of course Johnny in season 4 was pissed off about the Maverick being so much like Daniel.
Yeah.
And then him being
because it should have been all about Iceman.
Right. So since he was the Iceman character, I thought that was funny in season 4. But anyway, so all right, season 5. Let's talk about episode 4. Voice of Reason. What did you think of this episode overall?
Well, I mean, I like the entire season. I like this episode a lot. There were a few surprises.
Like what?
Well, there were a few times that I thought something was going to happen and then it didn't. Because I probably was, making things more dramatic than they were going to be in this particular episode. But,
What did you expect that didn't go down?
Well, at the water park, when Kenny and Kyler and the rest of the gang...
Oh, you thought someone was going to pee in the pool, huh?
Oh, God, I didn't even think of that. That would have been brilliant.
That's probably a deleted scene somewhere.
Probably is, yeah. Or, it's an online joke somewhere.
Penis breath probably pissed him.
Yeah, he would have been the one to do it, probably. But I digress. So what I thought was going to happen was when they kicked Anthony into the what do you call it? The lazy river.
Okay.
The way that if you watch that, the way that he felt into the lazy river and then floated away, I thought for sure that he hit his head and was unconscious under the water. So, and then that didn't happen at all. It was not at all like that, but I was probably just making things way more dramatic in my own head than they would have been. But
you thought like a murder took place at Splash and stuff.
Oh my gosh. I thought, wow, they're really going to start this whole episode with something like major. And no, it was just a kick in the pool.
Yeah, everything was fine. Yeah, I'm glad we're well past the Miguel and his dad stuff. I'm glad we're just focusing on the main characters now and not wasting so much time in Mexico. So they're at Splash-O-Rama. This is where we start to see a lot of pushing among the karate kids. These kids are all in karate, and like when they're about to fight, they start pushing each other. Like they don't do karate. Yeah. Karate guys don't push.
They're like a standard street brawl.
Yeah, very odd. There's so much of that this season. You see a lot of it this episode. A lot. Even Miguel. By the way, Miguel, you guys keep telling me Miguel's not a bad kid. Once again, this episode, look what we have. Like we've had so many times before. Robbie is trying to break up a fight, like he's always trying to do because he's a good kid. And Miguel always assumes that Robbie's up to no good.
He makes a lot of assumptions.
He's an asshole. Miguel's a bad kid.
No, I like Miguel, but he makes a lot of assumptions.
This is at least the second time, if not the third time, that he's assaulted Robbie.
He did push Robbie 3 times in the parking lot.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Fucking stop it. And he's always fucking other chicks at parties.
Oh, stop it.
You know what I mean?
He is not.
Well, he's doing a lot of that.
You go too far.
He's always cheating on whoever.
That's why you're called the Troll.
Nah. Well, all right, let's talk about other stuff this episode.
Yeah.
For me personally, I just really like when Iceman and Maverick, they... What?
There is no Iceman and Maverick.
That's how the show started. That's how the episode.
Well, yeah, in the dream sequence.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I got sucked into. Okay, my bad. Well, we got Johnny this episode doing his food delivery.
Yeah.
And all that. I got to tell you, his interactions with the guy who plays the the pawn shop owner.
Yeah.
I don't think those two have chemistry at all, those two actors. I'm not making a joke. I think the two actors are terrible together. This scene is their worst scene. It feels like, it feels like a bad skit.
But I do love that scene, though.
Well, the point of it was poignant in that the guy's trying to say, look, dude, like, I get it. But it's just, this show already has a tough time, even with the good actors like LaRusso or Macho. Even with the really good actors here, I think they have a tough time because they rely so much on tropes and on really traditional kind of scenes that we've seen elsewhere. You know?
Yeah.
I never forget season 1 where Johnny's like, she's like, "You were never here, Johnny," and to Shannon, and then Johnny goes, "Well, I'm here now," and I'm like, dude, that's in every show or movie ever.
Yeah.
That I'm here now. They rely so much on these really stereotypical moments.
Yeah.
And that moment where Johnny shows up, first of all, it didn't make any sense. The guy offers him one of his breadsticks or whatever he was delivering.
Taquitos.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
And Johnny's like, "I already took one." And then the guy throws them all out.
Yeah.
You were about to give Johnny one anyway. Now you're throwing it doesn't.
Because Johnny touched them.
Yeah, I get it. But now isn't he going to touch one anyway when he reaches in? I mean, it's probably what's going to happen.
Wow.
I don't know. There's so many cartoony, unrealistic moments on the show that take me a little bit out of the reality they're trying to set up. That scene with Johnny and the pawn shop guy, it was just too poorly delivered. It was so like we get it. The pawn shop guy loves his family, so he works a shit job. A lot of people do that, and he's kind of waking Johnny up a little bit to that. But it was just delivered in such a cartoony Disney kind of way for me. I wish the show wouldn't do that. And this season, although it's probably about my favorite season, has probably been about the campiest in that way. Like there's a lot of scenes like that where it's just, I feel like the actors just aren't really nailing the delivery. They're just getting through the lines. All right, good enough. Let's move on now. Next, cut.
Really?
Yeah, that scene really bugs me. Watch that scene and just check out the acting and the pacing.
No, I
It's not
get
believable.
what you're saying. It was a little bit stiff at times, but I guess I glossed over that in my own mind because I really do like that scene. I like the message of that scene. I like the way that the pawn shop guy is just really delivering this message to Johnny that he needs to hear, and nobody has ever said these things to Johnny. Like, look, this is life. Sometimes you don't get to do like the dream job. You do what you have to do because there are things in life that are more important. And that's what you're doing, or that's what you're supporting when you do this job.
There's a Nikki Sixx, one of his bands called Brides of Destruction that he left like 100 years ago. They had a great, great line where they say, "This is life. This is it. It's not everything you want. It's everything you get."
Yeah.
And I always thought that's what you got to say to yourself when things don't really turn out the way you expected, And here's Johnny in his 50s with a kid on the way, and a son he's alienated and everything else. I think the idea of this scene was fantastic, but it was so delivered in just a fake, we're reading the lines, there's no chemistry at all here kind of way. And I think every time Johnny interacts with that guy, it's like that. But this was the worst offender. Every season that Johnny's there, I always feel that. Every time I feel like these two are doing a bad script. They look like they're on SNL and they're just trying to ramp through it and they don't give a fuck. It's just really poorly done. So anyway, whatever. The show has worked itself out where it can get away with that. But I would really prefer that it not be so convenient and so perfectly like, oh, well then I'll just, they just jump directly to the point they're trying to get. But anyway, all right, let's move on. There's other shit here to talk about. What else about this episode? We got a lot of Terry Silver here.
Yeah.
And here's another very convenient thing. How did Terry get, because think about what happened here, guys. Let's recap for a second. Terry somehow knew that Daniel and his wife were going to be involved at this fundraiser. So then he swooped in, I guess. Yeah. Volunteered his home, got in good with Ava, got in good with her. All very quickly,
Ava
I'm
Garcia.
sure. You're Ava Garcia.
You were about to say that.
Right?
And I interrupted. And now I'm mortified.
That's perfect. That's perfect. So Terry, it's his house, and he then works it out where he's talking to Ava Garcia with an earshot, both, of Daniel. And then he somehow gets Ava to say, "I didn't know that about Amanda. That's really great."
Yeah.
And then somehow Terry's that devious where he can time it all out and make sure everybody hears. Just what they have to hear.
Is. He is a snake.
And then he gets that confrontation with Daniel. And then when Daniel kind of grabs him or something, then Terry goes down. He did kind of push him, right? This is pushing. Again, karate guys don't push. It's you never.
Well, these do.
The second you get like a yellow belt in karate, you're done pushing.
Oh.
You're done with the mano a mano kind of bullshit. You don't do that anymore. You
Okay.
just go right to kicks and punches.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that whole scene was really, again, it's too convenient. Like, I always think of shows like Daredevil, where there's a little bit more realism and there's more empty space and there's more, it's more deliberate. So they deliver a scene, they take their time with it so it feels more real. Cobra Kai does the total opposite. Cobra Kai just forces okay, we want to get from here to here. Well, let's do it in 20 seconds. Here, bam, 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 bam. And this scene was no different. Although it was greatly acted, I love the acting here. Yeah. Again, I think Thomas Ian Griffith and Ralph Macchio are two of the strongest actors on the show. They're probably the two strongest actors on the show.
Yeah, yeah.
And that little scene, although I could buy it, it still was so convenient, so perfect. He got Ava to say just what she had to say and make sure Daniel could hear it. And it was all so perfect. And then Ava turns around and says, actually, he was just telling me how,
Yeah.
It's just, come on. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
I don't buy how Amanda in every season seems to need to be won over to believing Daniel in his fight with Cobra Kai.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Every season, this is like I always think of Law and Order: Criminal Intent, where Vince D'Onofrio's character was always right. He was a detective who was always right.
Yeah.
And every episode, even in the 9th season, he'd go, no, guys, I think it was so-and-so that was guilty. And they go, oh, come on.
Yeah,
they acted like he was the biggest asshole. And meanwhile, like his captain always acted like he was such a prick. And I'm like, have you seen the first 9 seasons? He's always right in the end. There's like a couple times he wasn't right.
You'd think they would have caught on by now.
Yeah, they never it's like Columbo before him. They just whatever, Columbo, you piece of shit, you foul mouth mother. And it's like, well, he's always right. So just why can't we just give him that? Why, maybe for this episode you buy into him for a little bit. The guy's here for a fucking reason. Anyway, so Amanda here, and once again, I thought by season 4 she was going to be done with all the Daniel doubting.
Yeah.
Let's call it Daniel doubting.
Daniel doubting.
And now here she is again. She's like, oh, Daniel, you and all your enemies from Cobra Kai.
Right.
It's like, bitch, you just were at the tournament. You know what just happened.
Yeah.
You saw this whole thing go down, and come on, get past it. But whatever. So then she has to go take off, and we'll see that whole thing happen in the next episode.
Off she goes.
This was a good episode. Is there anything else that we should discuss? It was a smooth episode, right?
Yeah, well, smooth, Terry Silver, smooth. Didn't you think that he was so smooth, like going back to that scene at his house with the party for the fundraiser and everything? He was like so smooth, offering Amanda wine and welcoming her to the home and blah, blah, blah.
Can I be honest with you? I've never in my life, even as a little kid, not been able to see through people like that.
Oh no, I'm not saying you don't see through it.
So I don't register smooth. I don't.
I thought he was smooth and man's got game.
My peanut butter is smooth. That guy's a fuck. I don't see that as game at all. I've never. To me, I've known some really slimy men in my life, right? I've been at 5 o'clock in the morning at after hours at a fucking club with no sign outside. I know fucking dark people. And no man would normally act like that. No man, if you're behaving that way, like he was at the party, it's because you want something. You're manipulating.
Sure. And Amanda's guard was up until it wasn't.
Well, that's what I mean. That's not smooth. I don't see that.
No, that is smooth because her guard came down.
Do you think he could have got her into bed? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
You think Terry Silver could have got Amanda to sleep with him?
Yeah.
Wow, that's unbelievable. Do you think he could have got her in a threesome with Ava Garcia?
No.
That I think he could have done. I don't think he could have got her solo, but because of her relationship with Daniel.
Well, how did we even get here?
But I do. This is what happens on our channel. If you're new to the channel, if you haven't liked and subscribed yet, now's the time.
Hit the like button.
Because we're getting into some really good territory in our final 30 seconds.
Subscribe.
So I think he could have gotten, I think he could have gotten Amanda in a threesome with Ava.
No, all right.
If Ava's out,
that's enough.
Then I think Amanda's out. I don't think Amanda would cheat on Daniel yet. I think season 6 she will.
No, she's not.
Yeah, because the progression every season she gets more pissed off at Daniel for fighting with Cobra Kai,
and then she comes right back to being his champion.
Yeah, but it's going to get worse.
Nah.
This was the first time she cried and left. We haven't seen that yet.
She did.
Anyway, guys, we're about out of time. Let us know in the comments what you thought of this episode, what you thought of our review. and what you think of the voice of reason here and some of the
Oh my
crazy
God.
shit she says. We're going to change her name to Voice of Crazy.
Oh, geez.
You guys are the best. We've got the coolest audience. I appreciate it. Don't
Thanks
you?
so much. I do. Yes.
We'll see you guys soon. Like, subscribe. Bye, guys.
Bye.